Blessings, I'm back. I told y'all I was going to come back with another video on something else, another subject that the Lord brings to my mind, to share. And that is our struggle, as babes, new babes in Christ and longtime followers of Christ. We have that task where it comes to a point where you have to let go of those people who don't honor God. Because if we don't let go of these people, guess what? They will affect you in your walk with Christ. Just think of it this way. You, let's say, you like um, going out to meet in a venue where you hope to meet some person that can maybe help your career or whatever, right? But you have this friend that's going to keep telling you, why are you wasting your time there? You're never going to find anyone. You're just wasting your time there. Come, go here. Go spend time with me on this place. Let's go shopping. Imagine this person, and you keep refusing them, and then they keep right on. But you keep going to this place, but yet you haven't had to luck not to meet someone that can help you out in your career, right? Maybe give you network connections. This is just an example. And you're eventually going to start believing what that person, that friend, that's opposing you to where you're trying to make connections, discourage you from it. You're going to eventually start believing what they're saying. But maybe they're right. I'm not going to meet that person. So same thing when it comes to the Lord. When you have someone who's going to keep coming at you saying, there is no God, I'm God, blaspheming the Lord at that, making blaspheme statements. There's no God, I'm God. You know, just boasting and tell you're nuts and calling you names. Imagine you keep having that person around because you've been with them a long time, whether it was in a formal romantic way and you were just friends now, or you were friends, just friends, and before the Lord saved you, but now you're saved and you're still hanging on to this deadbeat weight of a friendship. And I say this because I want to share, like, that's what I am dealing with. It's this person that, it's weird. It's this person that was a friend with me before I got saved. And now that I'm saved, I cut them, like, sever my ways, distance myself from them. And the enemy will use these people to draw you back into the place where you vomit up that God and Jesus saved you from, you know. And this person, he just tries. The enemy has his mind is so sad. His mind is so confused, and also lost his faith in God. Whatever his childhood, I think it has something to do with his childhood, because he doesn't talk much about it, never talked much about it, but tell me sad parts. And I think that has a role into why he's lacking in faith. But the funny thing is, this person has on their ballot that they're Christian. This is what I'm saying. You don't know who you're meeting. Just because someone say they're Christian don't mean they can have a double life, you know. And I was shocked when I saw his election status, you know what, you know how you can find out from taxpayer and they tell them they you have the data on their election status. And then he has himself labeled as a Christian. And I'm like saying, if anyone was to see this that doesn't know who the person I know that rebels against God, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, would they be shocked? And so I didn't let him know about this for a long time that I found out this information on him that he puts on his election status that he's a Christian, you know. So one day he calls me, you know, texts me out of, you know, I text no, I'm sorry. I text him to see if he's okay because I knew he was having a surgery on his hip, you know. And I just wanted to check in to see if he needed anything, you know, because God said to be there for your enemies, you know, be how you say, you bless your natural enemies, you overcome evil with good. So, and he was like, oh, I'm okay and everything. And then he said, you know, lure me in with these temptations, trying to use the old things that I used to like as a way to tempt me into um, coming to see him. And all I could do was say, you know what? I'm going to pray for you to seek the Lord. And when I talked to him, text him today, I text because I thought that one of the one of Trump's elects person has his last name, and I was like, "Is this person your cousin?" Because I know he has people that live in Washington that or political government and stuff, and he texts back saying, "No, he's just some zombie, you know, blank, blank, blank of Trump's." And I said to him, "Listen, will you please stop talking like that? God blessed you with a beautiful smile, but you use that mouth in a way. Why use it in a wretched way to say wretched things?" And so then he like paused on the text. That, you know, he didn't say that for a while, and then he comes back saying because it's true what he was saying about. And I said, you know, Jesus is what Jesus is. I'm going to pray for you. I think it was, I said, text him. I have to look at my phone, but it was something like that. But it went back and forth. Then he corrected himself, you know, and started talking in a nice way, texting in a nice way. But it's difficult, you know, not going to say difficult, but it's trying because for me, because I would like to see him come to the Lord. But you can't bring these people. I realize it. You can't bring these people, you know, they have to come on their own and they are just rebellious and they will drag you down. The devil used them to bait me back into his company. And then next thing, this is how people fall back. You know, this is how Christians fall back. So I know enough to stay away. I don't. I just don't go there with them. But I was praying to God and I was asking God for forgive me for even reaching out and talking, you know, and because I know that's not a person He wants in my life. And I was like, Lord, give me strength. And this is what I want to share with you is this verse. So if you're dealing with someone that you know that you need to part ways with, that is not a person that loves God and talks badly and speaks against rebel, and you find it challenging because you've known them for years and you're hoping that they'll change, let me give you this verse what I came across. And it was in the section of strength, you know, to overcome. Uh, to overcome. And it says this. This is in Psalm 73, verse 25. And it says, whom have I in heaven but thee? And there is none upon earth that I desire besides thee. Let me read that to you again. Did you catch that? Whom have I in heaven but thee? And there is none upon earth that I desire besides thee. See, think about that. That's how we must have grow in the spirit, to grow in his spirit, to love him to a point where there's no one in this earth that could come between. That is more than the love we have for him. We have to remember that when we dealing in these relationships or friendships that we find it hard to sever, because we know these people for a long time. But then we have to bring ourselves in reality and look to his word, where he says, who would you look to in heaven but him? And there's no one in the earth besides him that's for us, that loves us. I mean, think about it. Jesus loved us so much. He died. He took nails in his hands and thorns in his head. Oh my goodness. Do you know of anybody on this earth, any of your friends, I'm quite sure, are going to do that for you? Are going to willingly just not hesitate and take on your sin? Think about that. Next time we have to think about that. When we come to a person that we know is no good and is against God, hates God, how can we be with that person? How can we even associate them on a friendship level? You can't. If we love God, you can't. And to be with them is like us just being with them is saying we love that person more than God. And we have to pray and ask God to give us that strength to resist that temptation. Resist loneliness. Because this walk is a lonely walk. But we do have the Lord with us. And that's why we turn to him. See, we've been so conditioned to turn to people. And he already told us, you can't even trust people. We can't trust people. We have to turn to him. That's where we grow with him. And then we'll start to hear his voice more through his Holy Spirit guiding us. And that's what, our brothers and sisters, we have to keep our focus on the Lord, how much he loves us. And go to scriptures like that to remind us, put things in perspective. Hey, why would I keep hanging with this person that's against God? Be a friend, close friends with them, and they hate them. And it's not easy, when it's someone that you've known for over 10 years, per se. But the Lord will give you. The Lord will get you through it. You will conquer. Because just as it says, his word says this: I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me. So, you remember that. It's a heartbreak, yes, but you know what? We love God. And then we start focusing on how that person doesn't even value the Lord. Ooh, that's when you start saying to yourself, oh, Lord, I'm a hypocrite. I'm hanging with someone who doesn't. And this is struggle. Help me, Lord, to resist the temptation, to resume that friendship. That's not good for me. That is working against me in my walk with you. So that's why I wanted to come on here and talk about And I hope it's been a blessing. Comment down below what you think, and please, share your experiences and struggles, and what scriptures you've read, came across, that the Lord led you to give you strength to resist that temptation of that ungodly friendship. All right? Be blessed. And I hope, God willing, to be back tomorrow. If He lets me see another day. Bye bye.